Hello, Fightful Faithful. It's a Tuesday, and Kate and I are here. So you know what that means.
It's the Sour Grabs post show for July 22nd. It was not a great one, which means we'll probably have a lot of fun talking about it, honestly. But get in your super chats. I don't think I have Humper Chat access. It's being a little weird right now. So let's stick to supers if you would be so kind. Some light housekeeping here. We always tell you to subscribe to Fightful Select. Great stuff going up on there. Weird stuff going up on there, and that Layla Hirsch is being considered as a referee, was invited to have a WWE tryout as such. Which I say, why would you think that's a good use of her? But all right, have her wrestle. There was a lot of stuff about the TNA Slammiversary show, which might push Joel Pearl and Cresta into canceling it, which I feel great because, like, I feel like a trendsetter as someone who bailed on ROH. Like, Joel and Cresta following in our footsteps makes me very proud. I see him in the chat, but we had some scoops there, including a very heavy hint that Trick Williams would be retaining, or at least that they wouldn't be going in the Santana direction quite yet. But also, we're like kind of getting close to 200,000 subscribers here, Alex. We're like 6,000 subscribers away, which is wild. And Alex wants more hardware, okay? He wants more play buttons. So you got to subscribe over here on the free YouTube situation, right? Let's rock and roll. But please do, if you're not subscribed to this channel already, it would mean a whole heck of a lot. Alex.
Yes.
Tonight was bad. It was not good. It was really bad. Bully Ray's gonna do a run-in on this post show to tell us why it wasn't bad, probably, because that guy just shoehorns his way into freaking everything. But like, it was rough, man. It was not a good follow-up to Slammiversary or their own product. But we're gonna talk about it all and more. Yeah. Bully Ray to the No Quarter Catch crew.
I mean, basically. So, in honor of Ozzy Osbourne, who passed away today, you could just do Ozzy puns if you want, but I'm going to broaden it to hard rock, heavy metal, classic rock puns in honor of Ozzy. We have a lot of fantastic Ozzy and Black Sabbath jukeboxes already in the pipeline. So if you want to send more of those, that would be awesome. Just I don't know, like what, a couple of weeks ago did the big last concert ever of Black Sabbath, and he made it that far and then said, I did it. There's nothing left to hang out for. I'm old. I did enough drugs to kill a team of horses.
Yeah. He lived his life.
He lived his life. Yeah. So obviously a tragedy. But it's great that he was able to get to that point, and he did it. He said he had his moment, and he was able to sign off after having done what he wanted to do. But we will honor him the only way we know how, by being absolute goofballs. So
that is the way of the world around here. Sauerkraut.
Yeah. We were talking about this before we went on the air. This is the worst episode of the NXT era.
For sure.
And it might be one of the worst episodes of the CW era.
Top 3 bad episode of the CW era, yeah.
Just a complete not knowing what the hell they're doing with the product on this show, on TNA, and perhaps even on LFG, though I do not watch and never will. But they tried to make that into, this is like what NXT now is, the melting pot of all the other things. Below SmackDown and Raw, they mix amongst themselves. They do that. That's their thing. But below that is this giant cauldron in which goes all of these ingredients from NXT, TNA, LFG, Evolve, and all this stuff. And the problem is all of those ingredients might work out if they were their own little mini pot of stew. But you just said I'm gonna make a lobster bisque and also like a hearty beef and veggie stew, and I'm gonna mix them together. Like, no, that's bad. Separate. They're probably I trust each of you as chefs to make separate soups and have them taste well. But if you pour all of them in the same big vat and then give me a big old ladle and say, here, taste this, I'm going to say no. Because if it tastes like tonight, then it tastes like poop.
Well said. I mean, I can only add so much to that, but I will say, like, I said this last week or the week before. As someone who like gets excited for interpromotional brand crossover, I feel like most of them are not very well done. Like Forbidden Door, New Japan is one thing, because that's like a one-time event that they build to, and it's essentially an all-star game. But like the AEW TNA crossover wasn't great. This has not been great. And to your point, like I think there's something that's a little tricky here, that TNA had a very similar identity, especially to like I would almost say the NXT 2.0 era, because of how, I mean, they're murdering people on TNA, like that. It became a meme at that point, right? Like, so their personalities are similar, which would make you think that the crossover would be compatible. But when you pull back and you consider that LFG and Evolve are in the mix, it's like you're getting inundated with too much of the same style of thing. I said last week, like, if it was a relationship with Bloodsport, where Carmen Petrovic was going and doing her own thing, that would be awesome. But when I'm getting a title shot of Santino Marella against Ethan Page, I have to pause and say, what the hell are we doing? Who is that elevating? Who is that for? I have questions. And I think the general consensus is that Slammiversary was like a pretty big swing and a miss all around. Particularly if you're a TNA fan, particularly if you're a TNA post-show host, apparently. Joel and Cresta both are kind of like, I don't know what the point in continuing this is. So I get that partnerships help when you have things like draw your biggest attendance, but we'll talk about it as the episode goes on, because things weave in and out here. But the overall takeaway being, like, if you send home your largest attendance unhappy, and at least 1,500 of those people were there to see AJ Styles high five Leon Slater,
right?
And now you have no champions on your show, really.
Right.
Like, and no offense to the Iconics and the By Elegance tag team, that match was bad. It was flat out bad. So like it feels like, and you have Masha Slamovich dropping to JC Jane, like to me the heartbeat of TNA was always like the Knockouts division was so cool, and it feels like that has been watered down in the process, and I'm supposed to buy that Masha Slamovich is losing to JC Jane, like, man. So I just feel like for TNA, I don't think they did anything at Slammiversary where people are like, hell yeah, I'm going to Lowell, Massachusetts. Maybe I'm wrong, or maybe they'll sell there but people won't tune in. It just feels like it was a big swing and a miss, and that the delayed gratification for Santana is stupid for a lot of reasons. One, nobody in Lowell, Massachusetts gives a crap about like a guy from the Bronx. Like, nobody's giving a shit about that. And two, like, Santana's contract, I believe, is up at the end of the year. So you're gonna put the title on him at Bound for Glory to risk him going elsewhere? All right.
No, if he goes to WWE, he'll just be the TNA champ.
It's true.
You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing to stop them from doing that. He's not going straight to the main roster, so he'll just be an NXT talent with the TNA title, and then he can get chokeslammed by the Undertaker.
Thank you, because you are great about asking to what end. And tonight the answer to what end was Trick Williams had to retain.
He had to
so that he could oversell a chokeslam from the Undertaker.
He had to retain his TNA title so we could keep the partnership strong by burying that title and the man carrying it with a literal dead man. That's
well, if you're gonna get buried, it should be like by someone who's familiar with being underground, right?
Right. No, he's a mortician, so he would know all about that man. The Undertaker used to be cool. He's not anymore. But way back in the day where he was actually he would cut promos, or actually Paul Bearer would cut promos, while the Undertaker was using wood carving tools to make a coffin for the guy he was feuding with. That was peak professional wrestling. That's this. You know what? I think I figured it out. Undertaker, stop with this whole LFG thing, your podcasts, your one-man shows. Go back to your first love. Sitting in a wood shop somewhere alone, not talking and making coffins. Like that was your first love. That was your first hobby. That was a thing that you really wanted to do with your life. And I think you should go back and do it, particularly the not being seen in public and not talking to anybody thing. Like that's the most important part of the thing that you should do with your life. But
I also just we'll talk about it more later. But I do feel like they trot him out a lot. They
don't trot him out a lot. They shamble him out a lot. He doesn't trot anywhere. He just
they motorcycle him out a lot. They rascal scooter him out a lot. So the mystique part of it is kind of diluted for me. But we'll talk about this as things pop up. But just overall, ahead of this episode, it felt like NXT, we gave you all of TNA, and tonight they were like, what if a bunch of women did a promo and the Undertaker chokeslam Trick Williams as her follow-up?
That's the best way to do that, right?
What are we doing?
Well, I know what Booker T is doing. He's giving us the rundown of all the things that are happening on the show, including somebody named Monica Monroe having a match tonight.
I didn't even know Blake Monroe had family in the business, so that intrigued me greatly.
Monica Monroe, better name than Blake Monroe. I understand it doesn't honor her niece, but Monica Monroe flows off the tongue even better. You could call her Monica May. Nobody'd have a problem with it. I know what happened is that he completely blanked on Blake, and it was like, Mariah, nope, I can't say that. It's got to be another M word, Monica. That's exactly what happened. Monica is nowhere near what her name is. So he completely blanked on Blake and said to himself, I can't say Mariah. What is it, Monica? I'm just going to say Monica. That was ridiculous.
Similar to Candice Michelle.
Monica Monroe is apparently somebody who works for Booker T's Reality of Wrestling promotion.
When you have a promo like he had today, I have less empathy for it, because if you say the wrong name while you're calling action that's in front of you, you're announcing stuff that's happening in front of you, right? So I always have more empathy for that. When it's all you have to do basically is go out there and say these names and you get them wrong.
So the first match is a match I didn't remember that was happening. Did they make that last week and I forgot about it? It started out with here's our big 8-person mixed tag match. And I was like, what is happening? Because I legitimately couldn't figure out what was going on. And then here's the deal. Soul, for some reason, Soul and Zarya coming out was no help. Well, who the hell are they teaming with? And then it came out Hank and Tank, and I liked that they were all wearing matching gear with the cutoff jeans. I thought that was nice.
That was awesome.
That was good. But I was like, oh no! And here come the culling, and it turns out my
oh no,
it turns out my oh no was underselling it a bit, because the ending truly was worth an oh my god no, because that's how terrible the ending was. The ending it's fine. Listen, Hank and Tank are very athletic and fast big men. They do their job. Zarya is way beyond the way they push her. Sol Ruka's a star in the making and probably doesn't need to be in NXT for longer than another month or two. If she loses the title at Heatwave, call her the hell up immediately. Like Sol is great. Tatum plays her role very well, although I hate this gimmick. Izzy Dame is a big bruising woman. She's gonna get better and better and better. I see a lot. Nico Vance, jury's still out. Sean Spears is basically a player coach. You know what this match is going to be as soon as the bell goes ding ding. You know exactly what this match is going to be, and then it is. The only question is, how convoluted and stupid is the finish going to be that they book? And they were like, let's go. Can we turn that on? There's a machine. It's called the stupid convoluted finish machine. And they just got a new one in. Their old one, it was fine, but they got an upgrade. The knobs on their new stupid convoluted finish machine, these go to 11. And they cranked it all the way to 11 on the stupid convoluted finish machine. Because Sean Spears passes Tatum Paxley, who's barely conscious, a Barbie doll. And I'm like, are they going to say that when she hits Zarya in the head with a Barbie doll that it's going to knock her out? Because if so, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to... Sharks, I think we can all agree we're out. We're not doing this. That we're done with this now. But somehow it was worse than that, because Dork State, fresh off a loss at Slammiversary, the only NXT branded anybody who lost at Slammiversary, the only team that NXT was like, we're going to negotiate with Carlos Silva. Our top talent and they're going to beat your top talent. However, we have this faction, a go nowhere, do nothing, completely aimless and directionless faction. They're going to lose to a bunch of your lower mid-card guys. How's that? And Carlos Silva says, well, if that's the best you're offering, it is. Okay, well, I guess that I'm going to have to accept that. That's what happened. So Dork State lost to the lesser members of the system. And then, fresh off of that, they're like, we're going to announce our presence by standing in the audience to, like, say to Hank and Tank, we're coming for those titles, I guess. But they're just up there, and then the lights go out. And the lights come back up, and Tatum Paxley is pinning Zarya. And then when she pins her, 1, 2, 3, the ref is there, counts the pin, and then afterwards, Zarya is holding her eye. So the thing that they are telling us has happened is due to a distraction from Dork State, fresh off a loss to the lesser members of the system. There was a distraction.
Matt Cardona and
went out
yeah.
during the blackout. Tatum Paxley stabbed Zarya in the eye with a Barbie doll, which led directly to the finish of the match, Tatum Paxley pinning Zarya. That is a thing they intentionally did. That was a thing they said, yes, let's put that on television.
Have you ever been stabbed with a tiny Barbie shoe? Hurts.
No.
Hurts.
I haven't.
You don't want to I promise you don't want to take a Barbie shoe to the eye. But I agree that it did not maybe read as a malicious attack on one of the strongest badasses in all of wrestling.
What?
Sharks, has this ever happened to you? My light bulb moment was I knew I had no friends around, and I had all these dolls to symbolize that.
A giant Australian lady hates me very much. She wants to murder me, and I have a Barbie doll. The lights have gone out. What do I do? That is, there's got to be a better way. This was just intolerably stupid.
I agree. The finish. I didn't know they had a machine, and I certainly didn't know it got upgraded. So shout out to the SCFM and the work that they did. I thought it was just the manatee idea balls from South Park, but I'll say this: Zolruka is a team and an angle that, for all intents and purposes, it would be nice if it hurried the heck up, but it's working. I'm salivating for Solo on her own, Zelda, Zarya, badass, turned heel, beating the brakes off of people. Every time I see her like in the ring properly, that's all I want to see.
Your best bet for that is December. I'm telling you right now. That's the earliest you can expect for that to be a thing in your life. Well,
I appreciate the Christmas gift. I would like it to arrive sooner.
I know. No, I'm sorry. That is a 6-month delivery period. Yeah, that's on the slow boat. That ain't.
She hasn't even put on a black hoodie yet, right? So probably not.
No. Yeah.
I will also say, like, creative aside, Tatum Paxley's got to be like one of the most underrated people they've got, and she gets a lot of screen time. She doesn't get a lot of builds towards title pictures or things like that, but like every time I see her wrestle, I'm so impressed by the amount of growth we've seen out of her. Like we've talked about it a lot on this show, but like the in-ring storytelling combined with the moves that she does to express that storytelling, it's incredible. Like she has so many good instincts for so many things, even a dumb ending like this, I know. But like, I want to see her in something that has some legs under this. So whether it's that she realizes that Izzy Dave is not her friend or whatever, like I want something that feels like it's going to catapult her forward, because I think she's doing really great work with what she's given. And I don't want to see that get wasted on like, oh, because she's a weirdo. Weirdos are title adjacent. Like, I don't want to see that, because I don't think she's like, for example, she's got some screws loose. She's stabbing people with Barbie dolls. It's weird. Dark State does not have supernatural powers, but they still control electricity somehow.
Well, again,
are they paying off someone on the production team?
Who is the fifth man who works in the truck?
Who does?
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, got to figure it out. Jambeard as saying that wasn't a Barbie doll; it was a Malibu Stacy doll with a new hat. Of course, it's super effective. I
mean, Skipper or nothing, honestly, because she at least had like flat feet, and I feel like big boot from Skipper would have been the way to go.
Right, I suppose. I think that, again, I don't expect this, but this is something, if they were playing a really slow game, because they have a lot of women's talent on the main roster right now, like a lot. If they're playing a slow game with this, having Sol Ruka be the women's champion, like the full-on women's champion at the end of the year, when Zarya wins the Iron Survivor. And that's the match.
That could sustain it.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know how you say that between now and all the way to the end of the fall, but if that's where it goes until, if Zarya straight up like is the reason why Sol Ruka becomes the champion, the women's world champion, and it's like, okay, now I get my title shot, and Sol's like, well, yeah, but I don't want that to ruin our friendship. if I don't get my title shot, that's definitely gonna ruin our friendship. And like, it's like, listen, I mean, I'll give you the title shot, but I don't want that to change anything between us. In the ring, I'm going to kill you. That's just how I wrestle. And if you don't want that to ruin our friendship, well, you can lay down. You know what I mean? And you could do a really interesting, but like Zari, all of a sudden, like when it becomes for the world title, none of this stuff matters. It was fun hanging out with you, doing TikToks. If that's on the line, I'm gonna murder who was ever standing in my way. And you could do a really cool thing with that, but I don't think they're going to, because they don't have imagination, as evidenced by gestures wildly at everything.
I think the way you sustain it from then till now, because we're almost in August, like one way that you could sustain it, and I know this is crazy, but you could have Zarya pick up wins, Alex. Like you could have her start to get a taste of what it's like to have victories under her belt.
I just don't see it. I just don't see them doing
and, like,
that.
let people see what a force she is.
Yeah. Ooh, gosh. Wow. No, I just don't think that's gonna happen, unfortunately. Blake Monroe, Monica. Lake Geller. Balaki, she invited Jordynne Grace to come to the show tonight to watch her, to be front row, to watch her beat Wren Sinclair. And Ava apparently took the entire week to think about it, and then today announced that Jordynne Grace was banned from the building. She got on a plane and flew to Houston as an invited guest of Balaki Monroe. And so she gets there, and Ava's like, no, you're not allowed because of what you did to poor Robert Stone. Dork State tried to murder him, and then wrote in his blood on the wall, no one is safe. You did not ban them from any buildings. They were in all of the buildings. They weren't doing anything, mind you, but they were in all of the buildings. They were in all of the buildings. So
they're now in another brand's buildings. That's how undisciplined.
I just want some consistency, and they don't have any. So she's like, okay, well, one way or another, I'm gonna get into the building. I'm gonna get my hands on Blake Monroe somehow. And Ava's like, hey guys standing next to me, watch out for her. And so yeah, the security has been told to keep an eye out for Jordynne Grace,
even though Monica Geller invited her to the building.
Yeah. So JC Jane became the Knockouts champion in a title for title match with Masha Slamovich on Sunday.
Very good match.
The end of it was Masha like reversing a roll up into another roll up, kind of like sitting back on JC's butt to like get a leverage pin there. And when JC kicked out of that, she flew forward and hit her head on the turnbuckle pad. And that was one of those things I was like, you got to figure out a way during the match for that pad to get ripped off.
To expose it, yep.
To expose it, to protect her in some way. Like JC Jane JC Jane is getting German suplexed, and she grabs the middle turnbuckle pad, and she gets pulled, and she gets suplexed, but the pad comes off. And the ref never replaces it, and she gets kicked out, and she goes forehead first into the. You got to do that because the turnbuckle pads in TNA are mighty. Those things are thick. They're made out of memory foam. They really are. There's no way that hurts anybody. Like some of the turnbuckle pads I see are kind of flimsy. Those ones are big, thick suckers.
They're pillows. No. They're pillows stuffed into a turnbuckle pad. Yeah.
So anyway, she comes off of being of having her head shoved into a pillow, and then she comes out and she takes the rolling elbow thing and she gets pinned. What happened before that was a belt shot and also the rest of Fatal Influence being taken out by some of Masha's friends because they were interfering through the entire match. I say all of that because when they showed a highlight of that match, it was the very end of the match. It was being kicked out, and Masha goes into the second rope, turns around, gets the elbow, she gets pinned. Nothing else from the match was shown. That was the finish of the match, but everything leading up to that was just interference, ref bump interference. So when JC Jane comes out and says, I won this title all by myself. And the camera kind of like looks a little bit over to Jasmine Nix and Fallon Henley. You go, really? I mean, we did something. Did you? Because the production team chose not to show us any of that. And if we didn't pay money to watch the Slammiversary show or find a pirated clip, then how would we know that Fallon and Jasmine are correct to be pissy at JC for the erasure of their help? Like if you're telling a story that JC is the champion and part of her downfall is that she is going to be too mean to her friends and they won't be there to help her when she needs it, and that's part of the story, you owe it to your audience to actually help tell that story, and they're just not doing it. So this is just her saying, you won, you beat Masha. JC Jane's a really good wrestler. And she won as clean as WWE will allow a heel to win a match. But so don't keep bringing up that you're the most beatable champ. Like at this point, you won the TNA. You have both belts. Like they chose you to be the woman to do that. So you're that now. Nobody's calling you that anymore. Except for you keep bringing it up and they're going, well, yeah, you're right. You are. Nobody was saying that beforehand. Doing all of that is doing your own reign and the booking a disservice because it reinforces the latent belief that JC Jane, the character, doesn't deserve to be in this position. Because again, a third wheel in a whole bunch of factions, and all of a sudden now double champ is a thing that maybe some people have in the back of their brains, maybe some people, meaning me. And the way you reinforce that is by having her call herself the most beatable champ. Huh? Well, I mean, yeah, not really, but yeah, you kind of are. And it's weird that you keep bringing it up. All of that is dumb. But the idea that how are we going to capitalize on this big moment at Slammiversary? We're just going to trot out Lash Legend and Jada Parker, who are baby faces now, I guess, because they're facing JC Jane. Like
Jada especially was jarring because Lash has always been kind of like
Lash has just been Lash,
a heel, but everybody loves her. Yeah.
So, but Jada Parker definitely doing babyface stuff, and we both want the title, and JC's like, haha, well, you finish that up amongst yourselves. Get him. And Fallon and Jasmine don't want to. But then
psych.
And then but then JC throws the first punch. And they're like, well, I guess we got to get involved now. Our boss started a rumble. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, we got to do that. This is all of this is just, so next week, I'm going to finish talking about all of this, and then you can give all of your thoughts about all of this.
Go for it.
Later in the evening, JC Jane is sitting backstage like, so how are we going to get who's taking on Lash? Who's taking on Jasmine? Or who's taking on Jada? Like, I don't know. And in comes Michelle McCool. She's like, hi, I'm here for no reason. And I was thinking, I think that Fallon should face Lash and Jasmine should face Jada. And they're like, Okay, sounds good to us. All right. Well, I'm gonna go find Ava and get those matches made. Which way is her office? And they do the whole gag, like, I guess I'll go find it myself. No help from you. And they leave, and they're like, gosh, she's mean all of a sudden. I know, right? And so that is what, like, if you're making JC Jane she is your NXT Women's Champion, and you are making her the TNA Knockouts Champion. And the storyline you have for her is a couple of also rans. Like I like Jada and Lash a lot, but they've never held gold or felt like they were next up. You know what I mean?
Not
and
especially for the world title.
Yeah,
certainly.
And they're coming for her, and she's like, I don't want to fight either of you, but my lackeys will do it. Like, that's what they've got for this historic double champ. And I can't help but think, if they had decided to do we're going to make a historic double champ thing a few months ago, and it had been Stephanie or Julia, then, like, they wouldn't have booked them like this. They would have made them seem deserving of both titles and willing to take on all comers. Hell, Stephanie, when she was the NXT Women's Champion and the North American Women's Champion, her whole deal was, I want to fight everybody. And Ava was like, well, hold on. And, like, that would be way more compelling to me than, I have both of these titles. Aren't I historic? Oh no, somebody wants one of these titles. You get them, stooges. Like, that's really terrible to me. Please, that's a bad idea.
So I think what they're going for, and I don't think they quite hit it, but, like, I think they're still trying to make us think, are they on the same page or not? Because JC Jane gives a promo, not her fault. The writing for which felt like a ChatGPT promo. Like, it could not have been more generic. Well delivered by her, but just very, every promo that you've heard like this. Yeah. It was the first of, like, 3 reactions to heel characters that were cheers. And she says, I did it all by myself. And then you get kind of the look with her stooges now. And then she says, because none of the fans thought I could do this or whatever. Yeah. So I think, and then when she goes to throw the first punch, and then all of a sudden the other girls are ready to fight, I think they want us to think, like, oh, is this all a ruse? Because they did that before. And I think what they're going for is eventually that's going to wear thin, and darn it, they're going to turn on her, right? My issue with the JC Jane part of this is she beat Steph Becker, who's, like, insanely talented, double champ. Now we see what she's doing on the main roster, and they're making her look weak for that. And on top of all of that, like, I want to see the emotional appeal with JC Jane to Fallon and Jasmine that says, I know Mandy Rose is persona non grata, but I don't think toxic attraction is, in the sense that she could say, I've been where you're at right now. Like, I've been in your shoes as, like, it's just somebody else's time right now, and they're my friend and whatever. But your time is going to come. It's just right now it's my time. But someday you're going to be champion, and you're going to need me in your corner, and I'm going to be there. But right now I need you in my corner so that I can hold on to this as long as possible. Just give me that, because it feels like that's all there of JC Jane being, having been that and now overcoming that. Right?
That would make her a baby face, though. That she actually cares about her friends. She treats her stooges like friends. No, that's not possible. Also, she says, "I could
do it in a manipulative way."
She could, but she also says, "I've been where you are," and Fallon's like, "I've been where you are." Remember that for months, exactly. How I was obviously the leader of this faction, and you were my stooge.
like in the
Remember
championship
that?
picture with.
Remember how you only won that title because of what I did to Stephanie? How I hit her with that 619 around the post in the face, and you pinned her off of a thing that I did to her? Notice how I've been totally fine with that up until now. Like you could totally do that, but they're not. That requires nuance. They don't want nuance. That is no, they don't want that. They don't want it. So it's yeah.
Should we do a couple chats?
Yes, we're gonna do
Because
this
we got
one.
this
No poets allowed.
big one.
Big Jim,
who says, yeah.
I was still reeling from the news Friday that we're losing Tala Alexis. Yes, I myself am Wida Alexis, and he is Tala Alexis. Then Kalex opens the Monday show teasing heat within the team. You know, if you two ever split, I'll be forced to join that Tom Campbell promotion. Well, don't go off half-cocked. Let's not do that, because we're never going to split. We're only teasing dissension because it brings in the kashish, man.
There it is.
The ratings go up. That's all.
This is Sour Grabs Unreal. We just gave you a peek behind the curtain.
That's how it works.
Plus, if we were teasing dissension, you don't have to worry about that for like another 2 years anyway. And then one of us is just going to hang out with the New Day for no reason. So
yeah,
you don't have to, you got years before you have to worry about that.
Yep. So hold on. I wanted to see this. Okay, I'm gonna save those for the Trick Williams segment. So, okay, I'm gonna do a couple of these puns of hard rock / classic rock / heavy metal puns in honor of Ozzy.
Yeah.
Meet Norma says, "System of A-Town down." enter Hangman, not enter Sandman, but enter Hangman. Fozzy Miles Bourne. Queen Amatalica, Queen Amanada, Queen Amatalica, Penta El Cerro Mosh Pit.
Very nice.
JCDC. And Kenny Omega Death. Very, very good.
Very nice.
Let's see. We have some more up here. I thought I know. There we go. Jambeard says, Milazi Osborne. Crazy A-Train. Mommy, I'm coming home. Children of the Corey Graves. Paranoid becomes Paragonoid.
Very nice.
Shot in the Dark State. The Shining Wizard. Wardlow Pigs.
Very nice.
Lupangi Vice says, 5-finger death poke of doom. These are all great. Keep them coming, everybody. We see your jukeboxes. They sound like a lot of fun. Can't wait to do those later. So Javon Evans is sitting backstage journaling. This is his through line for the episode. He flew to Houston, Texas to journal backstage.
Which, like, God bless him. You know what I mean?
Sometimes it's important to like get in touch with your inner feelings and to get them out on paper can really help.
I would argue a lot with Jasper Troy.
I would argue you could probably do that sitting in your living room as opposed to getting on a plane and flying to Houston to do it. But you gotta
catch the vibes, though. You gotta catch the vibes. I was more like, he's pretty young. I feel like he would use at minimum a tablet. Yeah, most likely the Notes app. I don't think he's like
a Notes. Yeah, a Notes.
He's a young OG. I could be wrong, but I feel like he'd be hip to the technology.
He was taking notes. He said about what his plans for his life are. That's what he said. So Ricky Saint Starks comes up to him and says, "Hey, so how's it going? What you doing? Doing a little, taking some notes." And says, what about some of those notes are about Jasper Troy? Oh, yeah, about Jasper Troy. You got any pointers? Says Ricky St. Starks. And Javon Evans says, this is going to sound really crazy and way like out of left field. Watch out in case the ramp collapses while you're standing on it. And Ricky's like, that's never gonna happen. And
No
he walks to
way,
the ring.
dude.
Yeah, and he walks to the ring. And so Jasper Troy defeated Ricky Saints. It was Ricky Saints putting the big man through his paces, being a great baby face. Jasper Troy, again, the stuff he does well, he does very well. The stuff he does poorly, he does very poorly. That is what a guy like this is going to be for a while. So I think at this point, the stuff he does well outnumbers the stuff he does poorly. But oh, brother, do you notice when he does something poorly? But he does a big Braun Strowman power slam. Ricky Saint Starks does this huge tornado DDT. Eventually, everything spills to the outside, and I don't really know what Jasper Troy's problem with the ref was. But he starts like menacingly backing the ref up the ramp all the way to the stage so that Ricky Saint Starks could follow up the ramp, so that I'm convinced he could do a power bomb or a choke slam or something.
Yeah.
To Ricky Saint Starks on a particular section of the ramp. The ramp would then collapse, and everyone, Vic Joseph would go, "Oh my God! Look how hard he choke slammed him. The ramp collapsed." And yet they rigged it so poorly, because this is, let's not forget, a rinky-dink operation. They rigged the ramp so poorly that it just collapsed under the weight of Ricky Saint Starks standing on top of it. And then Jasper Troy, being incredibly green, had no friggin' clue what to do. And the cameras were like zoomed in on him as he's talking to the ref of, "Help me, I don't know what to do." And then he went and did a sent. By the way, we can only assume that the ramp section collapsed under the weight of Ricky Saint Starks. We never saw it happen, so that wasn't part of the deal. It was supposed to collapse a few seconds later, and they rigged it poorly, and it collapsed early, and he's just lying there. He was, at most we could say is he was standing on a section of ramp that was slightly elevated, maybe a couple of feet, Adam Cole ankle exploding distance. And then it collapsed under him, and he got a concussion. And he was lying there doing nothing until Jasper Troy, a minute later, ran up and did a senton onto his body. And then he barely made it into the ring to break the 10 count. And Ricky Saint Starks did not, losing this match by countout. And yeah, this is really unfortunate, because the production team who rigged the thing, or maybe somebody hit a button too early, or whatever was supposed to happen, went off really poorly, which really ruined the match. But again, there was no need for it to be this clever. None. You have him choke slam the dude off a stage through some tables. You didn't have to rig a ramp to do anything.
It felt like a spot in a match that would be like for a blow off, but it was just a regular one-on-one match on an episode of NXT. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it felt like that's like in the street fight, we're going to do this huge spot kind of thing. It was really nice to see Ricky Saints wrestle a couple weeks in a row here, Alex.
It was nice. Yeah.
He did a really, really good job of guiding Jasper Troy through a lot of this, because you're right. The things he does well, he does great. The things that he does poorly sticks out like a sore thumb. But you could see Ricky holding his hand through this in a lot of places. He's also whilst have always been a Dolph Ziggler fan and an HBK fan, I'm more of a fan of the proportional sell, and Ricky does a great proportional sell. I can appreciate an oversell. We're going to talk about an all-timer of one from Trick Williams in a minute. But Ricky is, I feel like he does a lot of things extremely well. selling is a very underrated part of his game. I don't hear enough people talk about how great he is at that specifically. And he's never been in situations like that. I feel like when he was on TV in AEW or whatever, like even when he's been a face, I don't think he's been like the underdog baby face very much. So it was cool to see him in this context against a guy who was much bigger than him.
Yeah.
Because I just was like, oh, I haven't gotten to see a lot of that from Ricky before. That spot was very unfortunate, and it couldn't have happened to a less prepared guy. To your point, I felt so bad for him of just like, how the hell would you know what to do unless you have been in that situation, probably repeatedly. So it really did take you out of the match. I felt like commentary did a good enough, did everything they could to try and cover that up. It's a shame it wasn't TNA's production team, because they would have just missed the whole thing based on what I saw on Slammiversary. So we would have missed all of it, really. And they would have just cut to the end. But yeah, it was unfortunate. I think you hit the nail on the head a couple weeks ago or last week when you said like Jasper Troy is just not ready for weekly episodic television yet, probably. And he has a high ceiling if he goes.
This is the kind of guy that Black and Gold would have brought along slowly, having him beat a bunch of no name dudes in 45 seconds, and they'd have him do it for 2 or 3 months. You know what I mean? And then you'd be like, well, this guy's undefeated, and like he wants a shot at the champion. We kind of got to give him one. And then the champion would beat him in 7 minutes.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, but that would be the beginning of his arc on the show. And they were like, no, you get a shot at the champion right now, and you're going to have an 8-12 minute match with him. You know what I mean? Like, no, you forgot all the earlier steps. Like, you know, just taught him some stuff. And it's just, and also in between all those TVs, he was in classes at the Performance Center, learning how to do all the stuff he's not good at yet. You know, like,
right.
And just anyway, yeah, I don't like Ricky St. Starks is on all the promotional materials for Heatwave at the end of August. So all the people who were like, Ricky St. Starks, he's getting caught up to the main roster imminently. This is a thing. He's doing it now. It looks like he's not like he's going to have a long program with Jasper Troy. Maybe he beats him at Heatwave, and that's the end of that program. But I don't know if that's the end of programs for Ricky St. Starks. I don't know.
I mean, now it feels like just make him a Royal Rumble surprise. That's such a weird time.
It is. It really is.
Like that late fall into
right.
And
I mean,
the beginning of the year is a weird time. So
yeah. So Trick Williams was talking with Wesley and his boys. High Rise and says, hey, you guys don't need to come to the ring for this thing when I call out the Undertaker. It's fine. I'm fine. It's Houston. I'm wearing a cowboy hat. And then Javon Evans is like, haha, yeah, you can take out the call out Taker. That's not a good idea. It's like, you mind your own business. Grown folks are talking. And then he leaves and he's like, oh, I got to go to the ring and see this. I got to go down there and see this, says Javon Evans. And Wesley's like, he told you to stay out of his business. And so I naturally thought that Javon Evans would be in the crowd or something laughing at this, but I did not see him do that. Did he do that?
I don't think so, but if he probably didn't have time, he would be taking notes. You know,
but I thought he could be taking notes while in the crowd. Yeah, could be done that. He didn't do that. So here we go. Let's talk about this thing from these people. So let's see here. Jambeard has thoughts. F it. Make Taker the TNA champ. Go full WWE brain rot. Jambeard says AEW gave TNA Omega and Christian. WWE gives them JC and Trick and is now a feeder show for their developmental program. I'm sorry, but with AEW, the TNA title felt almost equal to that. Right now, it feels like it's the level of the NXT Cruiserweight title. obviously it's you can't really compare AEW of 4 years ago to WWE right now, but
one show, yeah.
Omega holding the TNA title. That's their top guy. Their top guy in all of AEW was holding the title. Do we think there's a possibility that the TNA, if they asked, hey, could we have Cody or Roman show up on TNA and hold our title?
No.
They'd be laughed out of the building. So when you're like what is the thing that's better? Like, what makes them look like they're more of a threat or whatever to like more equal on equal footing of any kind? Like our guys and your guys are some, like, it's not like NXT is like, and it's not even like it's not like it's Stephanie, it's JC. And there's a difference. There just is with how JC's been presented for 5 years on NXT television. She's a different kind of women's champion than a lot of women's champions before her. And it's not like it's Oba Femi. It's Trick Williams, the guy who can't hold a friggin' title in NXT.
Yeah, but I'll say this: I think
NXT champion. I become the NXT North American champion. I lose it 2 days. I become the NXT champion. I lose it in a couple of months. I become the NXT champion again. I lose it even faster this time. Like, he's not on those levels, and he's the guy who's in TNA. That's it.
I feel like JC and Masha, stylistically and character archetype wise, that felt like a terrible idea. Mm-hmm. Trick with the TNA title felt like a smart idea if he was going to drop it to Santana in front of the highest ever crowd. Not like they weren't, I don't know if they were smoking anything. They probably should have if they partake, because the show was bad. It would have made sense if Trick Williams lost to Mike Santana in front of the largest crowd that they've ever had for this event and crowned somebody else in their hometown. It's so easy. Like, Alex.
Yeah.
The amount of people that felt the need to defend this horrendous decision absolutely blew my freaking mind. The amount of people that said, what about Cody? He went through his year of adversity. That sucked. It sucked. They should have done it the WrestleMania before. Everybody universally agreed they should have done it the WrestleMania before. Roman Reigns was on TV like 4 times after that. Cody's programming sucked. For that entire freaking year, it sucked. It was the wrong decision. We all know it. Just because the payoff got there from the rubber chicken moment doesn't mean it was the right call. It just meant that we all went freaking finally. Using that as a defense blows my mind. I said it was Swerve and Moxley at Wrestle Dynasty, Wrestle Dream. One of them. The one I was there for in Philly. They made it seem like Swerve was going to win. Now, the moment with Hangman was incredible. I'm not trying to take away from that. But when you had Swerve out there at the 76ers game doing all this press, making all these appearances, being the guy, you told the story to set it up right. He was the only babyface that anticipated a numbers game, maybe in the history of wrestling until Hangman. I felt like that decision sucked too. I felt like it was a waste of the Young Bucks' return. They turned it around. But at the time, seemed like a real stupid idea. So, promising your crowd, baiting them so hard to be like, nah, for the heat, brother, when you can't build to something that's going to be better, especially, like the Hangman one, they at least course corrected. The Cody one, they put on a main event that WWE fans love. But the year of programming before that sucked. I can't think of a conceivable thing that they're going to be able to do in frickin' Lowell, Massachusetts for Santana that would be better than the capacity crowd in his hometown with this rap entrance that he got and all this, so that Trick Williams can now come and get chokeslammed by the Undertaker. That's your big follow-up for this week? God, I'm sure all those TNA fans tuning in were absolutely thrilled to see that. What a nonsense call. A nonsense call. Anyway.
Yeah.
I had to put my hair up and square up after that rant. I'm sorry.
Ben says this doesn't feel like a partnership of promotions. It feels like NXT has a relationship with WWE's fifth brand.
Well, so Trick at least feels like maybe the top star of NXT. Like if you're telling me that the partnership is between NXT and TNA, I think you did the right thing by having Trick be that guy. Because he's their biggest star, and Femi's that's just not his path right now.
Yeah, and then
Casey Jane, whilst champion, doesn't feel like Jordan Grace, I would say, feels more important than her. Like Monica Monroe feels more important than her when they get her name right. So and again, JC's a great wrestler. I thought her match with Masha was one of the better matches of the night. Mm-hmm. But like the story that they told us doesn't lead me to believe, because she keeps calling herself beatable, that she wasn't facing Ash by Elegance, no offense. She was facing Masha Slamovich. Her last name is Slamovich.
Yes.
And it was the anniversary of Slams. It was Slammiversary.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Trick Williams bragged about beating everybody. He's the best, and he's best TNA champion of all time because he beat their two best guys. So he's the best TNA champion of all time. But he called it the Undertaker. The Undertaker shambled to the ring because apparently his motorcycle couldn't fit. It's a very small venue. He couldn't fit his motorcycle.
Cool venue though, I will say. I like venues with some.
It was cool, but it also allowed us to watch Undertaker shamble, and that's no fun. Trick just talked a whole bunch of crap to Undertaker for far too long. Undertaker responded for far too long, and it got to the like if Trick Williams had come out and said, "I retained the TNA champion because it's Trick and A, whatever. Undertaker, please come to the ring so you can choke slam me," and then the Undertaker did, and then he did. Like, we could have saved everybody 15 minutes. Like, nothing of value was said by either man. And then the thing we all knew that was going to happen, the thing we're all watching for, is to watch the TNA champion get choke slammed by an elderly biker. That's it. We're watching that. I don't.
By an elderly bikers.
Am I wrong? I don't. Anyway, he choke slams him, and then Trick is like, "Oh my God, I'm dying." Yeah,
I couldn't tell if that was a sarcastic seller or if he was just having fun.
He's selling for the Undertaker. It's the greatest. It's the greatest honor an NXT talent can achieve. Braun Breaker did it before him, and now Trick Williams will now sell for the Undertaker.
Crucially, you left something very important out, Alex.
What's that?
In the crap talking that happened.
Yeah, in the crap talking, yes.
Trick Williams said that LFG has made the Undertaker soft. And I'm just saying, Undertaker is a man of a certain age.
He is.
And maybe it's not LFG that's doing it.
No, I don't think
regardless of what's doing it.
Right.
There's a solution. And we here at Fightful can help out with such a thing. Well, we can't, but we have partners that can.
Blue Chew, main event performance, main event confidence, and a main event deal. Go to BlueChew.com and use the code FIGHTFUL, and you will get Blue Chew with their first shipment for free. Shipment? Yeah, I said shipment. No waiting in line at the pharmacy, no awkward doctor's visits. You take their online exam, and then if approved, it's shipped straight to your door. That's right. Same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in a chewable form and much more affordable. How can you pass up on this? How can you pass up on that confidence? How can you pass up on that performance? How can you pass up on making your sex life better? That's what Blue Chew is here to do. You don't have to have a problem to use Blue Chew. just get that additional performance. BlueChew.com and the code FIGHTFUL.
Hey, nice thinker.
You are that. Okay, here we go. Some more of these. Iron Aiden English. Adversatoxicity. Toxicity attraction could also be there. Motorhead of the table. Elena, Black Sabbath. Rage Against the Michin. Rage Against the Machine. One of the best we've ever gotten. Like it's practically perfect. Fantastic. Rage Against the Michin. Wonderful. Mike Pantera, Redneck Kung Fu Fighters.
Well done.
Foo Fighters. This is the thing, Kate. I was about to say it's Foo Fighters. That's not classic rock. Yes, it is. Do you know what I heard? Do you know what I heard on a classic rock station the other day?
Oh no! What?
Linkin Park.
No.
I turned to dust. I heard Linkin Park on the classic rock station between Guns N' Roses and Creedence Clearwater Revival, which is a fantastic classic rock pun. Creedence Clearwater Revival. They were like, Linkin Park belongs amongst these bands.
I'm gonna take a little solace in saying no, they don't. You know what I mean? Like that feels like they were shoehorned into rotation, like Bully Ray was to NXT tonight. But Foo Fighters, the reason I know they belong on a classic rock station is because Dave Grohl was dating a girl who's way too young for him.
I know, yeah.
So she wouldn't know his music.
Right, it's true. Yeah.
Which means that he's aged out and should be on a classic rock station. But
Ozzy! Oi, oi, oi! Ozzy open.
that was a really good one from Alpha Bell.
T Electric Mayhem says some new metal ones for Kate. Static X Division, Seven
Very
Gold
nice.
Dust, PLOD, Plod. Is that just the way Undertaker walks to the ring? He plods.
Pretty much.
JC Mudjane, Jake Something Face, Tony Schiavone, and Send Tool. Not Send Hook, but Send Tool.
Very
Guns
nice.
and Mandy Roses. That's 2 for the price of 1 because you put an extra N in the guns.
Guns
I
up.
like this one. Masha Pit.
Masha Pit's really good.
Masha
Pit's really good.
Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. Randy Rhodes?
Oh,
Yeah.
I got it. Took me a second.
FT Creedence Clearwater Revival. See, Tom already had it before I even did the thing. Jambeard says, I mean, Linkin Park did debut one year before Luis was alive, so I guess that makes them classic.
Can you just like stop hurting my feelings? Can you not point out that my coworker is that much younger than me and old enough to be interviewing lucha legends?
No,
it's rude.
We can't possibly do that. So Blake Monroe, Monica had her debut. Have we seen this entrance before?
No, this was new and I thought it was cute. Except
Like
for the PowerPoint effects that were the transitions.
I don't know about the transitions, but the use of the mirror I thought was interesting. I always appreciate a NXT only entrance where they do something that like you're not going to do that on the main roster. It's just too big of a venue. On the smaller venues where it's like, you know, like we use the mirror to show her in the mirror as she goes down the ramp and all that kind of stuff. All right, you're definitely, you know, I think they should, and maybe they will as she has more matches, but I think they should play up the dichotomy between girly girl glamour and take your friggin' head off in the ring.
I agree.
So I hope they do that. It's what was this match? 2.5 minutes. Wren deserves better. Like, she's done nothing but good stuff ever. Whenever they've called on her, she's been great. Was it this past year or was it 2 years ago where she was in the Iron Survivor match and we were all like, she doesn't win matches. This is odd. And then she was great in it and
Yes.
thought, okay, this is the beginning of something for her. And it was the beginning of nothing for her. And now they're like, okay, well, make our brand new signee look great. Professional wrestler Maddie Renkowski, please make our new signee look great, because we have a bunch of women who played volleyball and we have you who was a wrestler. So we're going to use you to make our new signee look great. And she's like, I'll do that. Can that lead for me to do something? And they're like, no promises.
TBD.
So,
TBD.
she.
Do you want to go to TNA where there are no championships?
Monica got the victory with her dirty deeds, her glamour drop. What are they? They're going to call it something. They're going to call the
Geller Yeller.
They're going to call the DDT something. It's gonna be. I don't know. They're going to call it something with some like weird like. I don't know.
The Sabrina Carpenter DDT.
They're going to call it that.
It's called that.
So this wasn't on the show, Kate. Did you see the video that Jordan Grace posted of how she got into the arena?
I didn't, but I saw that Blake Monroe posted, I actually knew she was coming because she posted a video about how she got into the arena.
Yeah, it's not the best. She jumped over a fence in the parking lot back area, loading dock area, and she got into a dumpster, an empty dumpster, and covered herself with a tarp. And then some production guys pushed the dumpster into the building. I guess not knowing that she was in the dumpster.
Do people normally drag dumpsters into buildings? Aren't they supposed to be outside for that reason?
I like, is it one of those like this is where we put all of our indoor trash and then we push that out to the thing and then that's how they get. I don't know. It was a dumpster and she put herself in the dumpster and then they pushed the dumpster. I don't know how she knew that dumpster was imminently going to be brought inside, or like, I don't know how she did, why she did that. She did that. She posted that online. And that was how Monica knew that she was going to come to the ring. And she attacked her after the match was over. She jumped the barricade. All the security guys got involved and tried to stop her. But they did nothing to stop Monica from hitting her glamour drop DDT onto the chair that Jordan had been brandishing. And then Jordan sold the DDT onto a chair. Like, you'll never, ever see her sell a DDT onto a chair ever again. It was as though she had cracked her skull, that she was referring. But I've seen her in hardcore matches where she takes DDTs onto title belts and all this kind of stuff, and she kicks out of it. So it's professional wrestling, and I don't have to like it, but I wish there would, again, consistency. And then Mariah Monica gets to lord over how she outsmarted her or whatever. So what we're doing for the women's title, and by extension the Knockouts Championship, is we're building to some dissension in the ranks of the Fatal Influencers because JC Jane doesn't treat them nicely. Also, Jada Parker and Lash Legend are involved currently. Who knows for how long? It's TBD on women from TNA getting involved in any way. That's what we're doing for that. Meanwhile, Mariah fucking May and Jordan fucking Grace are doing their own thing completely separate from the things that matter. And I question the priorities of the bookers.
Well, one of the bookers doesn't even have a priority of saying her name properly. So there's that. But Blake Monroe's entrance, very cool. Very, 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 very nitpicky thing on my end. But I wish they had used warmer white lights instead of the bright white LEDs, because those feel so much more glamorous of like the warmer colors.
Soft warm. Yeah.
And their transitions looked like PowerPoint swipe. Like,
well, that's intentional. That's intentional. They want it to look hokey and like the.
But it looks like 1992, not like
the carton. Yeah, I guess. I mean, they're bad at this, so it's very possible they did it intentionally but poorly. Like that's.
I think that. It's like how the newspaper that they use. I'm like, they need a different newspaper graphic.
Yes, they really do need a different newspaper.
I would, instead of having Jordan Grace go in a tarp in a dumpster, I would consider instead having Jordan Grace beat everybody's asses, because she's amazing. And she ended up kind of beating up security anyway, so like just have her beat up security.
Yeah, I would have her do that.
Alex, we got an enormous chat.
We did?
We did.
Oh my God.
It's red.
It's one of the... Okay, red alert, everybody.
Red alert.
1916 Batman. By the way, Batman, I'm a huge fan. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. That's amazing. Also, you're a time traveler, and I want to know 1916, that's like, there's so much history there. Anyway, thank you, sir. I don't want to put anything out there. Bruce Wayne, I don't know if I'm allowed to divulge, but thank you for being here. Says, y'all are great. Keep promoting mental health for everyone, please. This should help for puppets. Thank you for the sour grabs. It better help for puppets, because listen, this is the kind of chat that we get for puppets, Sean. Somebody clip this and bombard him with it. This is the kind of chats we're getting for puppets, Sean. Thank you.
Alex, smile, because we're screenshotting this right now. Yeah, he's getting a message about this. Genuinely, thank you so much for the overwhelmingly kind chat. And as far as mental health stuff goes, like, we will forever be singing from the rooftops about it, because believe it or not, your mental health is actually more important than wrestling. So, and while it all too often grabs a hold of mine and twists it around, it is incredible that wrestling can be this outlet for mental health in so many ways. Meaning, watching it can bring relief, watching it can bring joy, watching it can make you think and expand in the ways that other art forms do. And here on the Sour Grabs brand especially, but at Fightful in general, like, we have such a community of people that like feel safe enough to be open about the things that they're going through. And that's like, if you asked me, you have a wrestling podcast, what's your dream for it? That's like top 3 on the list, and it's probably number 1, honest to God. So thank you for that generous chat, but thank you for everybody in our chat for making this a place where that can happen. I really love how organically that happens on Tuesday nights, especially.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you again. Batman wants us to get puppets. Okay.
Batman. Literally Batman.
Literally Batman.
I'm not like the biggest fan of superhero and hero adjacent based things, but I am when you send chats that big.
Yeah,
I'm now the biggest Batman fan in the world.
You better be now, is what I'm saying. Like,
I'll be so for real. I'm very in on Lego Batman. Lego Batman was incredible.
I don't. Do they have Legos in 1916? That's a thing to Google.
I don't know. We're gonna find out though.
Ethan Page came to the ring and turned babyface. So Jambeard, I think it was Jambeard. Where is it? Said Ego Page with the biggest babyface promo of the decade from Jambeard. He did the thing I wanted him to do with Tony D years ago, where I wanted him to win the North American Championship and then make it the Italian American Championship. And they said, screw that with the American part of it. It's now the Canadian Championship. And this is really funny to do it in Houston because like the people there and the NXT the NXT crowd and the Venn diagram of the NXT crowd in Houston, Texas, and people who would get mad at a guy for making it the Canadian Championship. That Venn diagram is a complete circle. There's nobody nobody in that crowd who wasn't mad at him for calling it the Canadian Championship, for unveiling Canadian flags, for throwing the North American title out and making it like everyone was booing the hell out of him. This is the kind of heat I can get behind. Also, he's the baby face of the year. Like,
yeah,
you have to root for Ethan Page now, forever.
If he had done this in New York, the response would have been very different. Because while New York is a very pro heel crowd to start with, they would have been like, if we root for you, does that mean we get free healthcare? Like they would have had a different purview on this. So this was the right town to do it in. When you said that about like the heat he was getting, it felt like it was so fun because watching it, I was like, this feels like 80s heat or something
This feels like 80s heat. Like, yeah, it really does. Yeah.
It was really, really cool to see that. I love the design of the Canadian American belt. Also feels like they stole your Tony D idea.
I know.
Of making it the Italian American Championship.
I know, but I'm willing to give it. I will quibble slightly with the belt design because the maple leaf is hid entirely behind the North American plate. Like if you had done like if the side plates were maple leaf flags,
that would be fun as hell.
that would be kind of cool. Maybe you do that. This was truly excellent. I loved it. I was like, well, I guess they're keeping All Ego in NXT for a while because you don't do this, a belt change and all this stuff. If he's losing it,
he's joining the Seth Riders in a month.
Yeah. This is a thing we're doing for a while. I was like, I can't wait to see what they do with this now, and then they ruined it.
And the whiplash of just how much I loved it.
Wow, this is truly great. I'm so excited for this. To, oh God, no, please make it stop. Was less than a second.
I did get word from headquarters, and by that I mean Sean texted me, by the way, and he said he's pocketing that $200 chat. He said, no puppets. No puppets, no review, Sean Ross Sapp.
That's right.
Gosh, Freddie got fingered on your own without the wit and intelligent analysis of yours truly, Sean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway.
Santino comes out. And I was like, please say you're introducing somebody from TNA who's getting a title shot. Please say you're introducing. And there's got to be at least one Canadian who's an actual wrestler on the TNA roster. Please, isn't Macklin from Canada? Please, somebody's got to be from
Canada. Record in Toronto, or they used to. Like, fine,
somebody from Canada, please.
Jody Threat versus Ethan
an
Page.
Actual wrestler on the TNA roster has got to be the reason why Santino Marella is coming out. And no, it's not. And he is going to be the first challenger for the Canadian Championship next week. We're gonna watch Ethan. We actually gonna watch tonight. He brought out the Cobra, and Ethan Page ran away. He ran away from a non-wrestler with a sock on his hand. Like,
And who, when he was a wrestler, was most known for being silly and winning a Divas Battle Royal.
Macklin is from the northern half of the United States. It counts. Anybody who's not Santino Marella. Anybody who's not him.
I just when we look at what TNA gets out of all of this, Alex,
they get a Santino Marella title shot at the Canadian Championship. Eric Young's from Canada.
That's what I was just Googling. Yeah, Eric Young would be great. Eric Young versus Ethan Page would be fantastic, actually. I can't tell you how in love with this segment I was from Ethan. Like it was such a fun. He has such a natural feel for when to turn the screws and when to lay off and how to deliver these things. It was such a fun segment. The heat was hotter than hot. The venue was cool tonight with the tears too. Like everything about this came together. Like this is a great professional wrestling sports entertainment segment. And then Santino Marella came out to announce himself for a title shot.
My CW feed was muted for 15-20 seconds like consecutively. I don't know what they were chanting, but it must have been vile and
it was aggressive. I forget what it was, but it was
it F Canada? Was like without the F? Was it like, I mean, there was like man.
There you go.
Eric Young is literally running a faction based on Canadian violence named the Northern Armory. There you go. Do that.
One would think. One would think. But instead, we have Santino Marella and Snake
who says, I am from Italy, but I chose to raise my family in Canada. I
nailed it.
I just don't know. Oh, God.
Batman. To hell with that, Sean. Puppets, please. Another $50. I wonder what this is in 1916. Because, like, $50 in 1916. Oh, yeah, wait. $50 in 1916, Alex, is...
It's what, Kate? What is it, Kate? Kate! Oh, no, we lost Kate! We lost Kate. Okay. So Meet Normus says, Jay Whitesnake, Anthrax Harwood, Ron Killings in the Nyamov, Sands of Sublime, November Ava Rain, Red Velvet Revolver, Goo Goo Dungeon Dolls. Goo Goo Dungeon Dolls. She'll be back. She'll be back. So the Tavion and Charlie Dempsey and Miles Bourne are standing there talking to Wren Sinclair. They did it before. They were talking to Wren before her match. And in the background, we saw Lexus King walking around he's walking around somewhere in a very cavernous room, and he was kicking a garbage can. He was kicking a garbage can, is what he was doing. And then later, they're talking to Wren, and Tavion and Charlie are arguing, and Miles is there talking on behalf of Tavion Heights. And Charlie's like, Miles, just go away. Go away. And then Luis Polito says, for some reason, Bully Ray appeared, which is true. For some reason, Bully Ray appeared, and he walked into the shot and is like, "Don't, Miles, you stay. Charlie, are you gonna tell me to go away?" It's what I thought. Then he looks over at Wren and he looks really serious at her, and he's like, "Oh, what a great match! I'm so proud of you." What a great match, he says. "I'm so proud of you" to Wren Sinclair. Wren Sinclair having lost in 2 minutes. Wren Sinclair having lost in 2 minutes to Monica Monroe. Bully Ray is so proud of her. Anyway, he says, "I'm going to make the match for you for next week." Michelle McCool made 2 matches for next week. She made Fallon versus Lash and Jasmine versus Jada. And then Bully Ray makes a match for next week. Tavion versus Charlie Dempsey again. And this time, oh no. Sean Rossap is here. That was really creepy. Kate, come back. I'm really scared now. I'm really scared. That wasn't Kate at all. That was somebody else. I'm scared. What happened to Kate? Seriously, I don't know. What did you? Where is she? What did you do to Kate? What did you do to Kate? You son of a bitch. Anyway, he makes a match. It's Tavion Heights versus Charlie Dempsey next week. Tavion, if you win, you're out. You're free and clear of the no quarter catch crew. But Tavion, if you lose, you're in the no quarter catch crew, and you gotta take it like a man and smile about it. That's what he said. You gotta accept it with a smile. And then Lexus King comes up to Miles Bourne and says, "Hey, Miles, I have it all figured out. You're not really deaf," he says. "I know that you're not really deaf because I have been wearing these noise-canceling headphones." I have been wearing these noise-canceling headphones, and I can hear everything that you say, he says. Lexus King is so dumb, he thinks that noise-canceling headphones cancel out all noise. That he thinks that if you wear noise-canceling headphones, it makes you deaf. That's how dumb he is. And the people who write this show are so dumb, they think that makes for a good storyline. Kate.
Are we so back?
We are so back. While you were gone, Sean showed up and did a jump scare Blair Witch Project, like put his camera in his face. It really scared everybody. Like
that doesn't surprise me.
Did
he say that we're getting puppets?
No, she said Sean kidnapped Kate. People thought that she kidnapped Kate. Yeah, that was crazy. So I don't know what happened. Lieutenant Photo says, "I have this on my 65-inch tonight." That was actually a jump scare. It was really scary.
That tracks. That tracks. I always have sketchy internet, but things have not been the same since our whole town got washed out or whatever. So working on getting that back up. But I'm sorry that you were subjected to Sean being weird.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's just being a weird guy. Speaking of being a weird guy, Bully Ray getting all up in the face of Wren Sinclair,
showing up unnecessarily and being weird.
and then after that, Lexus King being like, I've been wearing these noise canceling headphones and I can hear everything that you say. So you're not really deaf. Next, you're going to tell me you're blind. It's like, no, you're not deaf, and you're not blind. But everybody around here wishes you were mute, says Miles Bourne.
Zing.
Ba-bum, bum, ba-bum, bum.
Alex, with
Tom LaValle says Blair Witch Project or Blair Monroe Project?
Monica Blake.
Monica
May. What is Bully Ray doing in this segment?
Well, he's in the listen. Undertaker's here, Booker T is here, Michelle McCool is here. All the coaches from LFG are here. They have to be on screen and do something. Michelle McCool made 2 matches. He was just feeling left out, so he had to show up, be really creepy to Wren, give her a hug she definitely did not ask for, and then he got to make a match, a rematch between Tavion Heights, not with like a now it's a cage match, or this time it's actually going to be a rounds match. Nothing like that. It's just like, you're going to face him again, and this time the same stipulation exists.
To be clear, I understand that everybody from LFG was on this particular episode of the show. What the hell is he doing with the no quarter catch crew? This guy shows up at Slammiversary, says, "This is incredible. This is the largest attendance since I was around and drew the biggest house. I'm going to put on a tag match that my partner, I don't even know how he got medically cleared for, but against the Hardys, and it's going to be the last great tag match." Like, I can't believe he's not injured from patting himself on the back so hard. Honest to God. And then he shows up to a faction who could not be like more opposite than Bully Ray's contributions to wrestling.
Yes.
What is he doing with the no quarter catch crew?
I don't know.
Technical specialist Bully Ray?
No.
And his like, "Oh, baby girl Wren, you were so great," about it all. And then talking to the boy, I was like,
after a match she lost in 2 minutes, by the way.
After a match she lost in 2 minutes. And on top of that, like, William Regal works here, man. What are we doing?
No.
How was this the segment that Bully Ray was involved in?
Don't know.
I didn't even know he was allowed to show up. I thought the 2300 arena was where you said Beetlejuice 3 times and Bully Ray just like pops up. No. What on earth was he doing? The way the segment was staged, the faction that they chose to pair him with, awful. All of this was awful. And then Lexus King not knowing the difference between wearing headphones and being deaf was stupid.
Yeah. Inamura went to Joanne Evans for some more advice while Joanne Evans was journaling some more. He's like, I Briggs is my friend and my partner, but sometimes I do not like the way he thinks. Like, well, you can love somebody and not like them, says Javon Evans. Like you feel me? And then Inamura reaches over and grabs him by the shoulders and says, "I feel you."
Alex, I love Inamura so much.
I'm loving him less and less. In the ring, he's brilliant. In the ring, he's brilliant. I feel like they are slowly turning him into a one man double extra large jacket time. They're slowly turning him into that. And when I'm right about it, by Labor Day, when I'm right about it, and that's the character that he is, you will eat your words.
Well, I don't know if I could, because this man is very meaty and I'm vegan, but his dramatic turn and being like, "I feel you." I'm so charmed by this dude. I hope they don't book him into oblivion. The triple threat we got tonight, I thought was fantastic. Clearly the best thing on the show up there.
Yes,
That
but
the
yeah,
Ethan Page segments I
100%.
thought were the good stuff.
Right.
I'm just too charmed by his
Yeah.
wholesome delivery of things. My heart.
It's Obafemi, by the way. So after the ridiculous, terrible thing that happened with the ramp, they didn't bother to fix it. They just put caution tape up around the hole in the ramp.
Yeah, that whole thing was very weird.
And then he went, as Obafemi was walking down to the ramp, he gave the hole in the ramp a side eye as he was doing his strut.
Yeah,
He was like,
I'm not gonna be going over there anytime soon.
No, but it was like, you get out of my way. Like he was like, I got my eye on you. So this is the thing where, like, apparently the storyline became during the match, but I didn't think that was what this was set up as. It felt like both Inamura and Briggs wanted to be the champion. And then they got pissed at each other for trying to pin Obafemi. Like, only one of you can win the title. It's not a handicap match. If you are fine with the other guy in your tag team being the world champion, then fight him as a duo, or recognize you're in an every man for himself match. You can't do both, and they seem to do both throughout the match. They would like go back and forth. I mean, at some points, like Inamura got kicked out. He was pinning Obafemi. Obafemi kicked out violently, and then he landed on Briggs, and Briggs was like, "You're trying to pin me." I wasn't, I promise. And then again, consistency. That's all I ask. Are rope breaks for pinfalls, does that happen during triple threat matches or not? Make a rule across all of your brands, stick to it. This is a triple threat match. There's no disqualifications. So he reaches in and puts Obafemi's arm on the bottom rope so that Inamura can't pin him. After pulling the ref out during the same count. And Inamura's like, "Hey, you were trying to stop me from becoming the champion. That's not nice of you." And they fight a little bit, but it's part of the match, and they're still supposed to be nice to each other, I guess. But they're currently fighting when Obafemi runs back into the ring and absolutely beheads Josh Briggs with a running European uppercut. Like, Claudio, eat your fucking heart out. Like that. Like a man moving that fast, who is that big, doing that maneuver under your chin should cause the head to literally pop off the body. Like, that's craziness. He's so good at this. He makes all the matches he's in better and better and better. Inamura is super fun in the ring. Briggs is a talented big man. This was a good match that Oba won after that decleating European uppercut. He hits the pop-up powerbomb on Briggs, pins him, and after the match, Briggs attacks Inamura in the background, in a distant background of a shot, and then they miss it and they come up to it later. And he's like, "I'm pretty sure I just heard Briggs yelling at Inamura, 'I don't like you! I don't like you! I don't like you!'" And I was like, did they forget to give you a script and you're bad at improv? Because
no, I think he doesn't like him.
Okay.
I really liked this match. I agree with you that there was some cloudiness in which story they were telling. I think they were trying to say as it went along that the story changed in it, which I think in a triple threat is too much to do, of like, and then it became every man from himself because they weren't on the same page about things, but it kind of flipped back and forth instead of progressed in that way. God, I love watching Inamura work, and Briggs is really really evolved into a really I don't want to say serviceable, because I think it's more than that, because he's pretty versatile now too, but any situation you put him in, I feel like now he's like, okay, triple threat, got it, one-on-one, got it, smaller guy, got it, faster guy got it. Like he's really, really, really able to chameleon into whatever situation you need him to, which is not something a lot of bigger guys are always capable of, that I'm really appreciating about his evolved game. I still feel like him in a tag team is the way to go. Like he's just really fun in that context. But he was really solid here. Inamura, I felt like the match was designed to give him some show out. Like he looked excellent.
And now they're going to have a feud against each other and that'll keep them out of the title picture. So we can do another thing that they teased for the absolute wrong reasons.
Which is true. But they also need some title adjacent feuds on this men's side, because we've talked about the lack of depth that we've had there for a while.
Agreed. This is a perfectly serviceable way to keep them, like you just made Inamura into a title contender, a 2-time title contender for the big title, and then you're going to keep him busy with a mid-card feud, like a grudge match feud between him and his former tag team partner. And then you're going to elevate the absolute correct guy into the main event scene for the absolute wrong reasons.
Yeah.
He is journaling backstage, Javon Evans is. and the Undertaker walks up to him and says, what you doing there? Just, taking some notes, trying to find out what my future is. Well, you asked me your future. You know what it is. You got to keep coming after the biggest guy, the biggest title in this company. And John Evans is like, wow, I never thought of that. Thank you. Thank you, elderly biker man, for giving me direction in my career. The idea that if Javon Evans finally does climb the mountain named Femi and become NXT champion, if that does in fact eventually happen, it will only be because Undertaker gave him the idea to do it, is the worst possible timeline.
I think what happens is Javon doesn't win. He eventually does. And then he gets on a motorcycle.
He gets on after he finally beats Femi a year from now. He gets on the microphone and says, "First, I have a lot of people to thank. First and foremost, obviously, the Undertaker, without whom no things are possible.
None of this would have been possible."
Yeah. And second, of course, Jesus, but Undertaker first.
And HBK's like, I forgot about that guy, and then I found him all over again. So funny you should mention. I like your interpretation of it better than anything I could say. So I'm just going to let it be that Javon Evans never thought about a world title shot until the Undertaker.
Well, it's the implication. Like, what do I do with my career? I'm not sure. And then Taker's like, I think you should go after the biggest dog in the yard. And Javon is like, come on. Wouldn't that be like, no, I already wrote that down. That's the first thing I wrote down, but thanks, Taker. I appreciate it. But I already considered that one.
I thought maybe what they were going for was like just that extra nudge of confidence to do it. Yeah. But I like yours so much better. Mm-hmm. That it just didn't occur to him. Yeah. Even though he and Femi have also crossed paths several times.
Javon already fought Oba at Stand and Deliver in the triple threat. Yeah. Fantastic match. Great match. The idea that like Undertaker is telling him to go after the top title and Javon hasn't considered that yet is insulting to literally everyone.
I can't add anything that makes what you said better.
Okay.
Maybe more balanced, but I don't want to do that because this wave is too fun to ride.
This is balanced.
I shudder at the thought.
Meet Norma says, "Bam Bam Even Flow," and Damian Judas Priest.
Bam Bam Bigelow.
That's good. Goo Goo Dungeon Dolls. We read this one while you were gone, but it's
very
good.
fair.
Ron Killings in the Nyam of. Just want to make sure you saw that one because that's important for you.
Killing in the Nyam.
Jambeard says, I'm not a fan of Omos, but WWE should team Jasper Troy with Omos plus a manager and send them down to AAA for like 5 months and then to TNA for another 5. I mean, you could easily make them into an absolute like giant monster tag team that nobody wants to face because look at them. You could do that. Find a manager. They don't have any managers on file except for Paul Heyman. Figure out it
and Paul Heyman. So there's that.
Yeah, that's true. All right, I think it's just jukeboxes, and we have a bunch. So, Jambeards wants Crazy Train as read by
as performed by. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. All right, here we go. Here we go. I. Crazy, but that's how it goes. Millions of people living as foes. Maybe it's not too late. Yeah, to learn how to love and forget how to hate. Mental wounds not healing. Yeah, life's a bitter shame. Going off the rails on the crazy train. Going off the rails on the crazy train. Yeah. Thank you.
Nailed it.
Can you find the Eddie Kingston's first AEW promo?
I'm looking for it now.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, Steven Regal, William Regal's long lost brother, Steven, sings "You Can't Kill Rock and Roll." All right, here we go. You can't kill rock and roll. Lyrics. Okay, here we go. How many times can they fill me with lies that I listen again? Twisting the truth and they're playing around with my head. Okay, sunshine. The things they will do and the things they will say, but they don't really understand. Tears fill my eyes, and when I hear all the cries for the reason today, and they don't really even know what they're talking about. And I can't imagine what empty heads can achieve. Leave me alone. Don't want your promises no more, because rock and roll is my religion and my law. Won't ever change. May think it's strange. You can't kill rock and roll, sunshine. It's here to stay. War games.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. Were you able to find it? I think they have it in a cage match.
I haven't been able to find it.
Okay. All right. So, let's see here. Well, we could do Hellraiser by Ozzy Osbourne in the meantime. I'm pretty sure we can find those lyrics. Hellraiser lyrics. Okay.
We could.
Let's see.
I can say this much as the Nia girl. You talk about grinding. I could say, I am a grown-ass man, and I will put you in the ground and smile. You're either an egg-sucking dog or an egg-sucking bitch.
That's good enough. That's good enough. I mean, he also threatens Arn Anderson at some point.
I swear on my mother's eyes, Arn. Arn Anderson.
I swear on my mother's eyes.
On my beautiful mother's eyes.
Yeah. That's good. All right. Okay, so hold on, I gotta get my thing here.
I have a hot take for you. Well, I don't want to say this on the day that Ozzy Osbourne died, but
okay, good.
I feel like Motorhead's version was better.
Okay. Oh. Fine.
Just saying.
All right. Okay. All right. There we go. I'm living on an endless road around the world for rock and roll. Sometimes it feels so tough, but still I ain't had enough. I keep saying that it's getting too much, but I know I'm a liar. Feeling all right in the noise and the light, but that's what lights my fire. Hellraiser in the thunder and heat. Hellraiser, knock you back in your seat. Hellraiser, and I'll make it come true. Hellraiser, I'll put a spell on you.
Walking out on another stage, another town, another place. Sometimes I don't feel right. Nerves wound up too damn tight. People keep telling me it's bad for my health, but kicking back don't make it. Out of control, I play the ultimate role, but that's what lights my fire. Hellraiser in the thunder and heat. Hellraiser, knock you back in your seat. Hellraiser, and I'll make it come true. Hellraiser, I'll put a spell on you. Yeah.
Thank you.
So much. I'm an artist.
You are. You are. Hello, it's me, just the Dusty Road from the stage, sir. Wants me to sing Mr. Crowley. I'm gonna sing it. You wait, it's coming.
I'm here for it.
Mr. Crowley lyrics. Here we go. Okay, here we go. In honor of Ozzy Osbourne. Maybe this weekend I'm gonna take a cruise on over to Rockstar Heaven. See if I can shake his hand.
I think you should. I'm
gonna see if we can do that. All right, here we go. Mr. Crowley, what went on in your head? Oh, Mr. Crowley, did you talk to the dead? Your lifestyle to me seems so tragic with the thrill of it all, baby. You fooled all the people with magic. Yeah, you waited on Satan's call, daddy. Mr. Charming, did you think you were pure, mama? Mr. Alarming in nocturnal rapport. Uncovering things that were sacred, manifest on this earth. Conceived in the eye of a secret, and they scattered the after boys, baby. Mr. Crowley, yeah. That's it.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. You know how it is.
I do.
All right, well, I'll be back in a second, but I there's other people who got to sing stuff.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Hello. Ricky Rainbow to sing Mama, I'm Coming Home by Ozzy R.I.P.
The sweet one.
Mm-hmm.
What's your relationship with your mother?
Also, Dusty to sing Mama, I'm Coming Home by Ozzy Osbourne. Also, R.I.P. You know what? We're going to do the duet last. So right now, it'll be me, Ricky Rainbow, singing Bark at the Moon by Ozzy. Of course,
very nice.
A song about Braun Breaker.
Of course it is.
All right, here we go. Screams break the silence, waking from the dead of night. Vengeance is boiling, he's returned to kill delight. Then when he's found, who he's looking for, listen in awe and you'll hear him bark at the moon. Ha 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 ha. Years spent in torment, buried in a nameless grave. Now he has risen, miracles would have to save. Those that the beast is looking for, listen in awe and you'll hear him bark at the moon. Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Right. Well, I'm going to do a duet with Dusty, but I'll let Dusty do the first verse.
That's very kind of you.
Hello, it's me. I'm gonna sing Mama, I'm coming home with this is God. Yeah, this is fantastic. Mama, I'm coming home. let's see here. That sounds like a title of a promo I might have given in 1984. What's this here? Lyrics. That's a Y, and then there we go. So, this is me, Mama, I'm Coming Home by Ozzy Osbourne. Times have changed, and times are strange. Here I come, but I ain't the same, baby. Mama, I'm coming home. Time's gone by, it seems to me. You could have been a better friend to me. Mama, I'm coming home. You took me in, and you drove me out. Yeah, you had me hypnotized. Yeah. Lost and found, and turned around by the fire in your eyes. You made me cry, baby, mama, daddy. You told me lies, but I can't stay to say goodbye, if you will. Mama, I'm coming home. I could be right, I could be wrong. It hurts so bad. It's been so long. Mama, I'm coming home. Selfish love. Yeah, we're both alone. The ride before the fall, yeah. But I'm going to take this heart of stone. I've just got to have it all. I've seen your face 100 times. Every day we've been apart, baby. I don't care about the sunshine, yeah? 'Cause mama, I'm coming home, baby. I'm coming home. And there's a guitar solo, but you get the gist. That's the song that we are done now. Thank you very much. All right, well, I'm going to go see if we can't squeeze in a trip to go visit Ozzy Osbourne this weekend. So I'm going to go back to the great beyond.
Well, okay.
Bye.
Bye. Hope you trip is safe.
It's
Ricky,
me.
the people are concerned about your hair, and I gotta say, I am too.
Well, no, it's the same hair. It's always the same hair. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's looking like it could use a little blue chew. It's a little
Oh,
flaccid.
there's a little. Is it? Hold on. Is that
You
better?
can just spin your hair around like that.
Is that better? Yeah, it's good.
It's beautiful.
Right? Okay. It's good.
You should talk to our friend Linda about getting it teased because her hair is very, very high of late.
I feel a little emo right now.
It's a little more than you bargained for, huh?
Yeah. That's right. Well, I mean, that's about it. That's all we got. So, I was going to say keep cool, gabagoos, but we don't know what happened to Tony D. There was no follow-up today on Tony D and his lack of a hat. He left his hat behind, and now his head is bare. What will he do if it rains?
Perhaps he caught a cold. I'm nervous for him.
Oh,
I don't like that.
Did we send in Humper Chat?
Oh no, I don't have access. I don't have access. I don't think. Let me try again.
I've never had access.
You haven't, but
I don't know what's going on. Oh no! What? Why did you check? Somebody changed my setting. What happened? No Humper Chats. No, we can't do. Oh, what? You sent them to our group chat? Oh, okay. Well, now I gotta go find them. No, hold on.
Louise doing the most.
This is why we can't. We need Louise back.
Oh my gosh, he also sent the Eddie Kingston promo. What a legend.
He is a legend. You want to do that while I read the humpers?
No. We're going to get this right. We're going to do this real quick. Cody, you talk about grinding. You talk about living a rough life, all that jazz. No one's going to outgrind you and all that stuff. My man. It's easy to say that when you grew up around used to be legends like Arn Anderson. Yeah, you heard me. Keep shooting murder ones at me and I'll knock your jaw right off your face, partner. You know what I grew up around? Alcoholics, junkies. I grew up around that. I had to survive that. I had to grind. You couldn't last a day in my shoes. So don't tell me about grinding. You talk about the sport of pro wrestling. That's a joke. Because every person you have faced has been a child. I am a grown-ass man, and I will put you in the ground and smile. But here's the best part about this whole thing. The guy that you like to mention because you like to be friends with the boss, Tony Khan, paid me to show up. And now he's going to pay me to kick your ass and take that championship. Oh, you want to go? Protect it? And I swear on my beautiful mother's eyes, if you don't shut up, I'm gouging your eyes out. All right? So let me speak. Yeah. It's my time now. Real easy. Relax. You've had yours. Tony Khan said to me, you know what, King? If you want to do no DQ, man, that's fine by me. Just know Cody has to accept. So you have to accept because you're either an egg-sucking dog or you're an egg-sucking bitch. Oh my God, I said something. That shit still rules. Even just reading it back is goofy as hell.
Tom Lavalley says, Luis is the hero we deserve. Hashtag
so true.
Fight for Espagnol. And then Lieutenant Photo says, hologram appreciation. I miss Eddie. Don't we all? There was some humper chats. I'm going to read them now. Lupongi Voice says, Anthraxium. Thy art is Murderhawk. Alter bridging German suplex. Pantera Zero Miedo. System of a double down. Motley crucifix pin. Saquon Meshuggahs. There were two more jukeboxes. In honor of the time of year and the new North American title, the Canadian title, Ricky Rainbow, that's me, sings The Summer of 69, Noise by Bryan Adams. I got my first real 6-string, bought it at the 5 and dime, played it till my fingers bled, was the summer of 69. Me and some guys from school had a band that we tried real hard. Jimmy quit, Jody got married. Should have known we'd never get far. Oh, when I look back now, that summer seemed to last forever. And if I had the choice, yeah, I'd always want to be there. Those were the best days of my life. Back in the summer of 69. Did you know that Bryan Adams was born in the year 1958? So he is being wistful about the year he was 11.
I did not know that. And there's some inappropriate themes in there for an 11-year-old.
There's a lot, like extending on your mama's porch. You told me that it lasts forever. With your 5th grade girlfriend. That makes a lot of sense, Brian. All right,
yeah,
well, I've got to go, and there's somebody else who's got to show up.
Oh, okay.
Hey, it's me. They brought me back in here. Hold on. T-Electric Mayhem says, in honor of the legendary faction, the Maniac Jerry's, Justice sings Whole Lot of Shaking Going On by Jerry Lee Lewis. If you were not watching the Sour Grap show behind the select paywall last night, there was a faction called the Maniac Jerry's.
TMJ for short.
I beat them all in a gauntlet match in 1977. So here we go.
I believe it.
Well, come on over, baby. Whole lot of shaking going on, baby. Yes, I said, come on over, baby, daddy, baby. Baby mama, you can't go wrong. We ain't faking. Whole lot of shaking going on. I said, come on over, baby. We got chicken in the barn. Woo-ha. Come on over, baby. Really got the bull by the horns. He's a big Roosh fan. We ain't faking. Whole lot of shaking going on. When I said shake, baby, shake. I said shake, baby, shake. I said shake it, baby, shake it. I said shake, baby, shake. Come on over. A whole lot of shaking going on. Let's go. See, the thing is, when I go visit Ozzy, I'm not going to be seeing Jerry Lee Lewis there because he is in rockstar hell because he married a 12-year-old. So anyway, keep cool, gabagoos.
Yeah.
The 12-year-old was his cousin.